The Xbox Bethesda showcase. I can already feel disappointment.
The Xbox and Bethesda 2024 Summer Showcase is now behind us, and I gotta admit, I have some pretty strong opinions on what we just saw, because while many things at this year's showcase looked absolutely incredible, some other stuff didn't, and there are definitely some trailers that I liked quite a bit less than most others out there. Thankfully, Starfield's new DLC trailer isn't one of those, and honestly, I think what we just saw for Starfield may end up kicking.
We just watched the Starfield Shattered Space trailer, and it looks abysmal. Everything screams failure about this garbage dumpster fire. If Starfield is even above a 2 out of 10 in the mass opinion of people, I don't know what I will do. I will lose my mind. There is no way that the people who made the original Starfield can handle a mystic line of storytelling. There is no way.
Kicking off the turnaround that this game desperately needs. Looking first at the proper trailer for Starfield Shattered Space expansion, I think this looks amazing. It was revealed a few weeks ago now that Starfield's first expansion would be focusing around House Va'ruun. Now we can see here that we'll be headed to their planet, which entails a completely distinct experience. For starters, something that is incredibly exciting to me that I think a lot of people overlooked from this trailer is the entire trailer just seems to be in two places. This star station that seems to kick off the DLC, but then of course
Probably because these are the only two handcrafted places in the whole expansion. Because everything else is just going to be RNG generated again. And when it's going to be a rune, it's just going to be that red tint, and that's literally it. That's why we only have two places shown. Because there is nothing else. There is literally nothing else handcrafted.
Of course, the House Va'ruun planet itself. This will seemingly be a newly added planet. It looks completely distinct compared to all of the other planets in the game. And of course, one of the biggest complaints with Starfield's base game was the constant load screens and just in general dotting around the galaxy.
Yes.
But at least based off this initial trailer, it looks like Shattered Space may be taking place on just one planet, which gets me really excited because on one hand, one planet travel is what many of us have been asking for, but then
that is true, but there is no way. There is no way. Because you're in a space game, and Todd Howard said how absolutely ecstatic and proud he is that there's like 1,000 planets for you to explore, all unique and blah, blah, blah. So, after we get 1,000 planets, you're telling me that the first expansion is going to be just you spending your whole time on one planet? That is impossible. That is absolutely impossible. I do think there's probably going to be something, some situation, some deal where you are actually exploring one planet a little bit more extensively, aka, just not actually traveling to different planets, but going in one instance and then, running 2 minutes and going into another instance and, doing that like 3 times in a row or something on one planet. But there's no way this is one planet. People are gonna riot if it's only one planet, because Starfield's whole shtick is, oh, look at the millions of planets that you can visit. Yeah, it needs to be more than one planet. It needs to be like 20 planets and one unique planet.
Also, if this is the case, it could mean Bethesda's listening to and actually implementing some of the major fan feedback from the base game of Starfield.
No.
So right off the bat, just going into this trailer, that gets me really excited, because it feels like this could play quite a bit differently compared to the rest of the game. And in general, it looks like the introductory story beats of the expansion will follow the major story beats of the regular game quite closely. It sounds like our companion Andrea acts almost like a guide through this one.
There is no record of a star station in this orbit.
Wow.
Something is not right.
And that makes sense. She's the companion that knows the most about House Va'ruun. This mysterious star station enters our space. It seems to kind of come out of nowhere, likely jumping from wherever House Va'ruun's planet is actually located. It's hard to tell if this is actually a House Va'ruun spaceship or if there were just some House Va'ruun members on board, but there are definitely some interesting visuals. You have this metal serpent-looking thing. House Va'ruun worships snakes, but at the same time, you have this liquid metal that seems to be interacting or...
By the way, if you think that this this trailer does not fully just, give away everything that's gonna happen in this plot, you have not been paying attention.
Maybe causing these anomalies we could see all over. And eventually we get this, which definitely looks like visions, almost exactly what happens when—
By the way, my prediction for the whole storyline is gonna be like this. House Varun accidentally has found a way to unlock their deity snake thing that they are worshipping, and members of the House Varun are getting controlled by it, and now they're trying to release it into the universe, and your mission is to stop it. Sounds pretty on point, doesn't it?
when you touch the initial artifacts in
Because let's be real, what else can it be?
Starfield. So I'm guessing what happens here is we go on the star station, we touch something, have a bunch of visions, and then we know how to get to the Varun planet. And then from there, we get to this
If that is true, that is even lazier than I expected as storytelling. But it could be true. Again with the, touch stuff and now you suddenly just know everything what's happening. Great. What storytelling qualities, Bethesda?
absolutely mental looking planet, and I love that this looks so distinct and different compared to the rest of the game. A lot of Starfield right now is very grounded. That was the aesthetic Bethesda was going for, while everything around Shattered Space is looking completely abstract and even a little bit over the top, and I love that. A big part of this is I'm excited to see what type of story they tell here. Something is making members of House Varun and potentially even other creatures become ghastly. What I'm guessing is it's whatever's going on with these pods. Perhaps House Varun is making people this way specifically. There's a lot of stuff that just looks cool or interesting in this trailer that I can't really break down.
The pod thing is probably going to be a big revelation that they reveal and then they forget about it. That's my prediction.
We don't really know what's going on here. There isn't much established lore around House Varun and Starfield right now, and that's kind of why this seems so fun and appealing. You're going to a new place, but also learning about a totally new people. And this is just pure speculation, but this is a planet killer, right? Like, this thing just looks like it's going to blow up a planet. And after watching the Shattered Space aspect of this trailer, one of the major—
that could be used to either kill a planet or open up the portal so the snake god entity can enter real space.
things I was left with was Far Harbor vibes. It looks like there's going to be a deeper dive into the philosophical and religious with our visit to House Varun. Bethesda is definitely doing a big pivot by moving away from the grounded style of the base game to the more eldritch horrors of—
I can't wait because they will fail. The story writer, main story guy for this is an absolute just idiot. So this is gonna fail.
Planet Varun. So overall to me, Shattered Space looks absolutely incredible. It's one of those things that is more of a curiosity right now because we don't know a ton, but I'm interested. One of the things I was really surprised about though is no date given for this DLC. Some of the previous—
You know what, actually, I just thought about it. You know what I'm interested to see? How much they mucked up the planet and made it not make sense. For example, well, this is not a gravity anomaly, but you can see some gravity anomalies when they actually show the planet and whatnot. And that's what I'm interested about. When you see floating rocks, when you get close to the rocks, will you actually fly? Probably not. Which is gonna take, all the immersion out of the game because, flying rock. I get near to the rock. Well, turns out it's flying just because reasons, I guess. Not that there's like a gravity anomaly or anything like that there.
was left with was Far Harbor vibes. It looks like there's going to be a deeper dive into the philosophical and religious with our visit to House Varun. Bethesda is definitely doing a big pivot by moving away from the grounded style of the base game to the more eldritch horrors of Planet Varun. So overall to me, Shattered Space looks—
By the way, this is also, the eldritch horror thing is not too surprising because 76 has kind of completely pivoted to the eldritch and horror things. It's no longer about super mutants, radioactivity, or anything. It's just now exotic eldritch creatures and stuff. That is literally what 76 is about.
looks absolutely incredible. It's one of those things that is more of a curiosity right now because we don't know a ton, but I'm interested. One of the things I was really surprised about though is no date given for this DLC. Some of the previous rumors suggested it was coming in September, and that would make sense to commemorate with the 1-year anniversary of the base game releasing, but the lack of a concrete release date beyond 2024 makes me think that this could end up coming a little bit later in the year. September's only a few months away now, but we're also getting new stuff today. As Starfield's new update, which is shipping today, today is really a bundle of both paid and free content. For the free stuff, we're getting a new Trackers Alliance quest. This one seems to be pretty sizable. You'll be bounty hunting and even end up with some new items in the end. Honestly, it just seems like a quality, nice little free addition to the game. But perhaps even cooler, Bethesda also implemented an entire dynamic bounty scanning system. It's very cyberpunk.
This looks stupid. So you're just gonna constantly walk around with your scanner open? Is that it?
So just as you're exploring around the various cities, you might just find wanted people, assuming you're actually scanning the citizens. And then you'll have
I can already tell this is bad because of look what happens here.
various cities, you might just
Okay, so a dangerous bounty is being collected here, and well, no one cares.
find wanted people, assuming you're actually scanning the citizens. And then you'll have several options for how you want to deal with finding that wanted person. But on top of that, we're also getting creations today. This is going to be the system for both paid and free mods. And it's kind of like we just got Starfield's first DLC, because some of this content is made by Bethesda Game Studios and it does cost money, such as this new Trackers Alliance quest. Basically, it seems like the way this will work is...
Wait, so it costs money? Wow, okay.
There's one Trackers Alliance quest that's free, but then a separate one where you'll get this new weapon that is paid. So you have to buy Creation Club credits, although if you bought Starfield's Premium Edition, you'll get 1,000
Bethesda.
credits for free, which you can afford to buy this quest with. And in this update video, Bethesda even describes how they might do more of this in the future, adding more Trackers Alliance quests on the creation system. So this makes it clear that the new creation
For money. So 1,000 credits most likely. The typical conversion rate for every game nowadays is 1,000 credits of X game. Well, 1,000 or 100 credits of X game is $1. And if this is 1,000, that means it's most likely $10. So they're literally doing the Overwatch thing where they're selling for $10-20 30-minute quest experiences. Yeah, I'm sure people are going to be happy about this, Bethesda. I am sure people are going to love it.
creation's menu and system isn't only going to be used by the community, but Bethesda will be releasing official content as almost mini DLC microtransaction things. If you're interested in this stuff, get subscribed.
Very
This week I'll
cool.
be making a full video looking at everything added with this, along with Starfield's entire new update and a deep dive on what we could actually do with the creation kit, because, oh yeah, mod tools came today as well. This is a free download on Steam right now, so you can download the creation kit and just start messing around in it if you want to. And in many ways, this feels like the moment we've been waiting for. Between the epic looking trailer as well as mod tools finally arriving
Epic.
for this game, this really could be the start of Starfield's turnaround. It'll definitely take some time for some of the more mature mods to come out, but this is the start.
Hell no, this is not Star. This is just gonna be another Starfield bad season that I am looking forward to. There is literally no way they succeed with this.
Of something, and this is the part you get excited for. For better or for worse, there was no Fallout beyond Fallout 76 at this event, but we did get some cool announcements around 76, and I could even share a bit more than what was said at the showcase.
Even 76 players don't think anything about 76 is cool.
We get this really fun thematic trailer around the Skyline Valley update, which we now get a proper confirmation that this is dropping this Wednesday, June
Okay.
12th, and this update is definitely one to get excited for. I beat the questline on the PTS already, and this has easily been some of the most Fallout feeling content Fallout 76 has ever gotten. If you're
Well, that's because Fallout 76 never had Fallout content to begin with. Duh. Anything that literally is not encrypted currently probably feels like the most Fallout thing in Fallout 76 ever. Because all they have done is just the Eldritch encrypted and horror things. Fallout 76 is not Fallout. It should literally be just another genre at this point.
you're a fan of Far Harbor or just in general some of the older Fallout games and you already own Fallout 76, give this a try. It's worth re-downloading for. But not much of that was
No.
really new. We got to see some beauty shots of it, but I've already beat the entire questline and made a video on it from the PTS. Thankfully, beyond that, we also learned that coming in early 2025, you'll be able to play as a ghoul in Fallout 76.
Wow.
Last week, Bethesda flew me out to London and shared even further details on this as well as some other stuff, but you'll have to wait for the Wednesday's video for that other stuff, so get
Very
subscribed.
cool.
Playing as a ghoul in Fallout 76 will unlock at level 50, and you'll get a new quest to begin the transformation process. And this is being implemented as a new way to play. The ghoul class has access to dozens of new perk cards, and of course you're going to be immune to radiation, which means bloodied builds won't work here. In many ways, it feels like this is meant to be an alternative build path that you'll unlock in the endgame of Fallout 76, which honestly is exactly what this game needed. This is one of those new features that I feel like is just landing on every front, at least hopefully it will, we have to actually see it first, but thematically it's cool, it makes
I mean, technically it is probably the best they have ever done for the game. So, yeah, I guess that's true.
sense to have this in the game. Being able to actually see other people as ghouls is exciting, but also just functionally. Fallout 76 has always had some weirdness and difficulties with its endgame, and I feel like this could really kick off something interesting and new, implementing unique modifiers that open up new build possibilities, and I'd love to see them add even more things in the future. It feels like this is one of those individual changes that could end up breathing dozens of hours of fun for a new playthrough with Fallout 76, so I'm really excited to learn more. Obviously, not quite the Fallout 3 remaster many were hoping for, but honestly, this doesn't shock me. All we've really heard is that Fallout projects are ramping up at Bethesda right now, or really ramping up at Xbox overall right now. It could simply
Yeah, because, well, Bethesda doesn't want to ramp up Fallout stuff, but, well, thankfully, Bethesda has absolutely no say, and it's Microsoft calling the shots when it comes to what Bethesda does and doesn't. Thankfully, because Bethesda is just inept losers. But Microsoft, at least, they have a shot at doing something good. The Fallout TV show succeeds. Todd Howard's like, I don't want to do Fallout correctly, and Xbox is like, but you're gonna do Fallout because you like your paycheck. And Todd Howard is like, I like my paycheck. Very true. Well, I guess we're doing Fallout things. Yeah, God, I hate Todd Howard so much.
be a case that many of these are still years out and they don't need to talk about them yet. And the same goes for that rumored Oblivion remaster. Even in that original leak for the Oblivion remaster, the poster said it could get moved to 2025 if it becomes a full-on remake. I could totally see Bethesda doing that in early 2025 with a trailer for an Oblivion remaster at the developer direct.
We already talked about the Oblivion remaster. It's gonna fail. No one wants to in reality play Oblivion. It's not a game that holds up to modern standards that people expect. It's gonna have a super niche player base at best, because people have fond memories of Oblivion and Morrowind and all of those things.
If it's still coming at all. But that's to say that just because we didn't see a trailer for the Fallout 3 remaster or a new Fallout game or the Oblivion remaster, it doesn't mean they're not coming. It was always kind of
Fallout 3 remaster is gonna be underwhelming. Fallout 3 is not that great of a game.
a 50-50 or even lower than that chance that we see any of that content this year. But then we have the game that really stole the show for a ton of people with Doom: The Dark Ages. This just looks insane. It's a prequel origin story for the Doomslayer.
Okay, so Doom actually looks good. There's two games that look good, and Doom is one of them. That is for sure.
I think what really makes this one stand out for me is how perfectly they nailed the art style. It's this weird mix of what we expect Doom to look like, but then some medieval brutality added on top, so somehow things are even more gruesome in this Doom game. Like here, we're literally crushing a skull to use the fragments as projectiles. That's gnarly and awesome. Or a chainsaw frisbee that is also a shield and cuts down entire groups of enemies as you throw it. But then you also get some of that alternative future designs, like a literal mecha fight against a giant demon, or your own flying dragon with these futuristic digital wings. It's this bizarre mashup of all different styles that works exceptionally well.
Yeah, Doom, I mean, Doom looks good. I'm surprised they haven't mucked up Doom, though, because, again, Xbox DUI is extremely strong. Their wokeness is absolutely beyond levels. Like, for example, Perfect Dark or whatever that game is called, you're literally going to be playing as Karen from the goddamn grocery store, and she's not in a good mood. It's going to be bad. Indiana Jones, same shit.
And the gameplay just looks phenomenal. Like even right here, you're using a medieval flail to take on a giant demon berserker that has a robot arm. That is over the top, ridiculous, and absolutely awesome. I desperately want to play this game. But even beyond just the art style, the game will have further improvements and changes. As Doom: The Dark Ages is set to feature a more fluid combat system, which we somewhat see in the trailer. And during IGN Live, Hugo Martin says, the melee system really introduces a dynamic where you can approach enemies any way you want. I think fans will be really happy with the freedom you get in finishing off the demons this time, no restrictions. And almost all
By the way, he literally staked the demon to a wall. That is awesome.
of you will be having a good time with this one, as it was revealed that Doom: The Dark Ages will be coming to PS5 day one, this marking a major shift with Xbox bringing a major first-party release to all platforms from the onset. And funny enough, they didn't even show this during the Xbox showcase. Like, during the showcase, it just said PC and Xbox, but then in all of the posted trailers and copy, it does also include PS5. And during the IGN
Yeah, because Xbox even is not fine with their, stupid fanboy saying, why PC? No, not why PC, but why PlayStation? Yeah, it's just annoying.
Live, Phil Spencer also weighed in on this, saying Doom is definitely one of those franchises that has a history of so many platforms. It's a franchise that I think everyone deserves to play. When I was in a meeting with Marty a couple of years ago, I asked Marty what he wanted to do, and he said he wanted to sell it on all platforms. Simple as that. Marty is Marty Stratton, the studio director of id Software, who are of course making this Doom game. And yeah, I like this decision. The less exclusives we have, the better in my opinion. But I really do think this new Doom game could end up becoming a breakout hit, even for me personally. I'm not super into Doom. I played many of the past games, but I'm not a diehard. But this
Yeah, I'm also actually not super into Doom, but Doom is awesome what currently is happening.
one, and the art style it brings to the table is seriously drawing my attention. It just looks like a game that'll be really easy to have a lot of fun with. But another game to seriously draw my attention is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, but this one didn't draw my attention in good ways. Because the new trailer showed off
Oh, what the hell, Juice? Really? Yeah, Indiana Jones from the first trailer was already visibly a disaster.
the Xbox game showcase,
Full of low garbage, full of DUI. It's gonna be great, boys, trust.
really felt like a movie trailer. Felt like I was watching a scene from a new Indiana Jones movie, but rendered in a video game engine. And like, yeah, on one hand, that's definitely a good thing. This game is based off a movie franchise. It makes sense that it feels like a movie at points. And they nailed
Look at how I can already tell how this scene is gonna work. Indy's gonna be incompetent, buffoon, and powerful. No, don't need no man. Phoebe Waller-Jones Bridge or whatever her dumb name is gonna save the day, boys. It's gonna be great. It's an Indiana Jones, a woke one, extremely. They have already mucked up so many things that they just, kind of try to steal from the movies. It's great.
that it feels like a movie at points, and they nailed that. The scene with the boat tipping over was quintessential Indiana Jones. But my issue with the trailer was it's not a movie, it's a video game. And for that reason, I honestly found this trailer pretty disappointing. I want to see more of the unique gameplay that devs keep describing for this game. We did get a few HUD-less
Indiana Jones is not that much of a clown, though.
describing for this game. We did get a few HUD-less clips of gameplay towards the end of the trailer, and I definitely enjoyed those, but it also doesn't feel like I'm getting the full picture yet. And that was one of my issues with this trailer. It's not that it was bad, the trailer was fine, but I don't feel like I really learned all that much more from this one. I'm not any more or less hyped. I'm still just curious about how this game actually feels as you play it, because
You literally can see what's happening here. Look at this. Does this look good to you? Watch.
still just curious about how this game
Yeah, that doesn't look good. This, look.
actually feels as you play.
Yeah, did that look good? No, it doesn't look good. It actually I'm not playing and I already feel bad imagining that I would press that button.
Play it because it looks fantastic. I just want to see a bit more. Indiana Jones was yet another game.
Ah, that one. That's a movie scene ripoff.
Looks fantastic. I just want to see a bit more.
You can see he's not even close, but then he headbutts him because that was done in the movie scene. But in the movie, you can actually tell that they're really close to each other. But here they're not. So, suddenly he's a rubber man.
Indiana Jones was yet another game to not get a concrete release date, and instead it still just has a 2024 listing. You'll notice this happened with a ton of games at this year's showcase. It definitely feels like Xbox was not putting pressure on these various companies to have concrete dates. And with how many games got 2024, I wouldn't be shocked if at least one of them is delayed. The most recent rumor had Indiana Jones coming in December, according to Tom Warren. It definitely feels like if things don't go perfect development-wise, this could easily move to 2025. There was also an ESO trailer, but otherwise that was everything from Bethesda this year, and for me, I feel like Bethesda knocked it out of the park at this showcase. Like, the showcase overall was pretty good, but specifically when it comes to the Bethesda content, I thought it was fantastic. If we got a new Fallout trailer, this would probably be one of the best Bethesda showcases ever. whatever, but the Indiana Jones trailer was the worst in my opinion, and it still wasn't even that bad. It was still a
I mean, Indiana Jones was probably the second worst after Starfield.
solid trailer. And when it came to the Doom trailer and even that new Starfield trailer, I feel like it ignited so much hype in so many fans, and I'm really excited to see more of both of those. But of course, this is the Xbox showcase. It's not just Bethesda. The new Avowed gameplay also looked fantastic in my opinion, and like I do.
Yeah, I am personally most excited for Avowed currently. I think Avowed has potential to be good. I think Avowed has potential to be the actual roleplay game that we want.
Very much so looks fantastic. I felt like the visuals on Avowed got a massive upgrade compared to the last time we saw it. Jez Corden recently reported that Avowed moved to Unreal Engine 5.2, and I definitely noticed major improvements in both the environments as well as some of the individual characters during this trailer. We got to see a lot more of these spell animations in this trailer, and they continue to be such a cool and fun looking mechanic. The combat looks like it is healthily varied as well. It seems like there's lots of different systems that have mechanics.
Oh, some of this looks now, but yeah, because combat was one of the things, like, we don't know about the story of Avowed, how actually good that's going to be. From the snippets we got, it's as Fallout New Vegas as we can. You actually have choices that matter and you make, and, you know, those choices have consequences, which seems very good. And, well, this looks already good, because some of the combat in Avowed did look, you know, not that great, especially dual bonding, and then you have these weak-looking attacks, and it's like something just slumps over. That felt especially bad, and the long casting animations, because long casting animations with some kind of pentagram circle thing appearing in front of you does not work if it's in first person. So yeah, those combat was the most questionable part, at least some of it, because some of it actually looked also still decent.
Mechanics within them. Like, it's not just, oh, here's a bow. There's actual things beyond just pulling back the bow and shooting it. In the past, we've heard how Avowed is very much so a game about unlocking combat abilities as you level up. And I feel like you could really see that represented here. We're starting to get an idea of how building out your character will look like, even if it's not being explicitly described. It really feels like we're seeing a half dozen different build paths here. And while the trailer looked great and definitely got me excited, I think this is probably the best trailer Avowed has ever gotten, it also suffered from the same problem as Indiana Jones, where it didn't really answer the questions I still have. It's Obsidian. I want to know.
I mean, I think we know enough about Avowed to at this point be excited. Doom definitely looks good. I'll be very surprised if it's not good. And Avowed, I have high hopes for Avowed. Everything else, though, Bethesda, eat bricks.
Know more about the questing, the choices and consequences, and with their more recent games, how big is this game? How long will it take me to beat this one? Avowed is reportedly on the smaller scale, but how small or how big actually is it? Although we may very well start to get some of these answers tomorrow, as Avowed will be at the Xbox podcast, so hopefully a bit more gameplay as well as some developer interviews. So definitely a fun trailer, and I think the best Avowed trailer yet, like I mentioned, but I am still quite curious about the game, and even just curious as to when it's releasing. This is another one that just got the 2024 date listed, and this means in the next 6 months we're getting Avowed, Indiana Jones, and Starfield Shattered Space expansion, but none of these have a release date right now. Thankfully, of all of them, it seems like Avowed is the most solid. I have to imagine this is a lock for 2024 at this point, because we've been seeing this game for so long now. The last rumor from Tom Warren claimed Avowed was dropping in November. And another game that I thought looked really good was Stalker 2. I feel like their trailer did a really...
I have not heard anything about Stalker 2. I know it was in the making, but...
really good job at conveying that, okay, this game is going to be a bit more hardcore at points, but then also cutting back to the story, which even just during this trailer started to really draw me in, and I started to feel for these characters. But thankfully, it's still Stalker. We still have a bunch of abstract elements going on here. The one major complaint I had was the AI just looks super dumb at points, like you would just stand in front of them and they would barely react. But thankfully, this is not a reflection of reality. As the community manager already took to the Stalker 2 subreddit to say, the level of the AI was the lowest possible for a better cinematic action. In-game, you'll be able to switch the difficulty level to one that suits your playstyle. By the way, there will be 4 difficulty levels. And with that in mind, I could totally see this becoming a game.
Well, Stalker is cool. Well, I don't know what to expect. I don't feel like saying anything because I want Stalker to succeed, but Is it gonna be good? Is it not gonna be good? Who knows? Not enough information to actually say anything concrete about it.
Game I sink 500 hours
At
into.
least
It just
I don't know enough about Stalker 2 currently.
looks that good. It's almost hard to process a Stalker game looking this good. I'm so used to the jank. But I think this one has some serious promise and is one of the games to get a concrete release date with September 5th, 2024. And for me, this is definitely one of the dual ones. I feel like I'm going to want to play this game personally, but also I think I'm going to make several videos about this. So if you're interested in Stalker 2, get subscribed. As well as the new Fable trailer was breathtaking. This
Oh god, Fable. Yeah, no, thank you, no. Whoa, garbage, trash, dumpster fire.
truly felt like some next-gen visuals, and in my opinion, I thought this had the best visuals of the show overall. These Fable trailers have this comedic overtone, and they are pretty fun, but at least for me, it's hard to get too hyped without seeing the
This character is a self-insert, by the way, of someone trans in Bethesda. You can expect the best things from Fable.
it's hard to get too hyped without seeing the actual gameplay for Fable. Like, it looks really good, but I want to see
No, it looks really dumb. It looks really stupid. It looks really woke. Please, no.
somebody actually play this with the HUD on. Thankfully, one game that definitely didn't have that problem at all was Perfect Dark. This is one of those games where it wasn't on my radar at all, but after watching this trailer, it's probably a day one purchase now. The
Perfect Dark also, as much as I have heard, is going to be a woke mess. So yeah, Xbox has a bunch of things that kind of could be actually good and whatnot, but they have so many things that just are going to get destroyed by woke. Perfect Dark potentially is going to be an absolute Karen at the shopping mall having a fit type of disaster story. Fable, absolutely 100% woke. Then what do we have? Indiana Jones, again, woke. Not woke. Remastered, who cares? 76 is a disaster, and Starfield is a disaster. Yeah, there are some things that, again, like Doom, Avowed, I am hopeful for those a lot, but everything else is just either a disaster or some kind of woke garbage dumpster.
trailer did its job because it looks fantastic. And even just the way this trailer was set up.
And by the way, this is just the Bethesda part. We are going to cover all of it in a different video, everything that there was. I have heard also Life is Strange 2 is coming, or Life is Strange 3 or something like that. Life is Strange 1 was amazing. And that's when I understood I'm not probably even human, because all my decisions that I made in that game were literally the worst possible outcomes, while I was smiling and happy that I made such great choices and this is perfect. Which is kind of not good. Kind of probably tells you a lot. And, well, Life is Strange 2, I should probably finish it. But, I don't know. I don't know. Life is Strange 2 just kind of didn't hit. You know? There was no Kate doing backflips when she's committing suicide, jumping off the school building. You know? Also, the fact that you could save Kate... Damn, So, the way you save Kate in Life is Strange turns out is you need to care about her and actually remember stuff about her. I did not give a single shit about Kate. Every time Victoria bullied her, I was like, yeah, you go, girlfriend. Yeah, I am a horrible person. And I love it. I love it. It was great. So yeah, I was so surprised that you could actually save her. And that most people saved her. Oh, what a time to be alive, boys. Great memories, great memories. Love that game. So yeah, if there's an actual not woke as shit Life is Strange where you're some kind of fat girl, I'm so down for it.
Is fantastic. You've probably noticed at this point, I definitely prefer more gameplay-focused trailers as opposed to just cinematics or beauty shots. But I think this Perfect Dark trailer did a really good job at kind of bringing you in with some of the beauty shots and showing you some more cinematic-style gameplay, and then just immediately cutting to, hey, this is what the game looks like, hey, this is what you're going to be doing as you play the game. That's one of the big issues I have with so many of these trailers. You watch it and it's like, okay, but what am I going to do as I
Bro, are you telling me you're gonna have stealth options with fucking Karen? No way.
Play. Perfect Dark didn't have that problem whatsoever, and this game looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. It really struck me as almost a crossover of Watch Dogs, or what Watch Dogs wanted to be, as well as Splinter Cell.
Okay, he saved himself. What the Watch Dogs wanted to be. Watch Dogs is a disaster also.
And that's exactly the type of game I want to play right now. This too had stunning visuals, lots of the environments they showcased.
All of your side missions are going to restaurants and complaining about service. And then the big main objectives of the bigger side missions are creating a scene at the local grocery store.
Just looked amazing. I feel like during the first half of the gameplay, it all looked great. Once they got to this combat...
What looks amazing here, honestly? The fact that the street is empty.
The first half of the gameplay, it all looked great. Once they got to this combat scene, some things did feel a little bit cartoony, but...
It looks stupid.
Overall, I am totally sold on Perfect Dark, and I am very interested in learning more about this one. Overall, I think the 2024 Xbox and Bethesda...
Oh, hell yeah! Woman power right here, boys!
The showcase was one of their best ever. This format they've been using with very little chatting and mostly just trailers just really works well. The first hour of this showcase literally flew by for me. I was shocked we were that far in already. It feels like this is one of those...
All of this looks scripted and bad, not gonna lie. Anyway, that was it. That was our boy Juicy Heady. Anyway, this was just it. Bye-bye.